Welcome back, America. It's Hugh Hewitt. It's not really very courteous of me to bring up 56-3, but that was the score of the Auburn-Arkansas game this weekend, 56-3, and the Auburn Tigers ran 520-plus yards on the ground. Senator Cotton, do you think after the election, the lame duck, we can get a declaration of emergency from the president for the Arkansas Razorbacks?
Good morning, Hugh. Yeah, the Razorbacks did not have a great game on Saturday night. But, I heard from the Nittany Lions that a win is a win is a win, no matter the score.
We're still going to the Final Four, Senator Cotton. Let's go to what you came up on hardball last night when I was talking with Chris Matthews about polls. Let's listen to the exchange.
If he wants to point to anything, you point to Tom Cotton winning by 17% 2 years ago in Arkansas and Mitch McConnell winning by 15%, neither of which were predicted anything close to that kind of a landslide. But you don't unskew polls. It's a bad move. I fall into that trap myself. I learned, trust the real clear politics average and campaign on the issues.
What do you think I hate to take you down a rabbit hole you don't want to get down, but why was the Cotton race underpolled? Why was Mitch McConnell underpolled?
I do think that state polling is much more difficult than national polling. I've tried to figure it out with people like Sean Trendy at Real Club Politics. The bigger your sample, the easier it is to model a turnout. The smaller your experience in a Senate race in every 6 years on an off year was a real bust. But I mean, Cotton won by 17 points.
That's wild.
Brad Dayspring of Politico pointed out to me that the last poll showed him winning by 8-10, but about 3 weeks out, they thought that prior Cotton race was a dead heat, and Cotton wins by 17 points. It does give you pause when you come to some polls.
So, Senator Cotton, why do you think it was so far off in your race 2 years ago?
Well, Hugh, that's a good question. It was pretty far off, and I can tell you my own campaign's polls always showed me significantly higher than what public polls showed. I think in the last 2 weeks of a campaign, there can be real movement. We appeared to have won all the undecided voters in Arkansas. We also saw very high turnout in Republican counties and in Republican precincts. In general, I would suggest that your listeners believe what they see in the polls. Two recent examples of people not believing it was Donald Trump in our primary and the Brexit vote in the summer. Those polls weren't really wrong. It's just that people, for some reason or other, didn't believe them. So what your listeners should do is realize that there can be real swings in opinion and, more importantly, swings in turnout in these last 2 weeks, and that there's nothing more important they can do than to vote themselves and to tell their family members and friends and coworkers and church members to get out and vote as well.
Now, Senator Cotton, the two most recent mainstream media big polls, CNN, ORC, have Senator Clinton up 5 in a four-way race, and today NBC News SurveyMonkey have Clinton up 5 in a four-way race. So that's two major polls back-to-back, 2 weeks out, 5 points. That's not over. I just hate the narrative the Clinton people are spinning is that it's over. That is intended to keep the eye off the Obamacare premiums and to keep the eye off the FBI problems, is it not?
Hugh, of course it's not over. It's not over until it's over. And those are just polls of the presidential race. Hugh, remember, we've got a lot of races out there for Senate and for House and for Governor that your listeners need to go vote for as well, because all those races are far from over. And just yesterday, the Obama administration, in a major admission against interest, acknowledged that on average, premiums are going to go up by 22% across this country. Every single thing that we predicted about Obamacare 6 years ago and for the last 6 years has come true. And remember, Hugh, that's just an average. In many states, they're going to see increases more than 50% in premiums, or people are going to lose their insurance plan as more insurers pull out of the fiasco that Obamacare has become. So if Americans want to change in their health care, if they want safety on their streets, if they want an economy that's growing again and working for working families, they need to get out and go vote over these next 2 weeks.
I'd ask you, Senator, in Arizona, Kaiser Family Foundation reports that the benchmark plan in the city of Phoenix has premium hike of 145%. That's in the Hill this morning, 145%. I can't imagine John McCain losing that race or Arizona going blue against that backdrop, because that's a real number that people have to cope with tonight at their kitchen table. How will Republican majorities in the House and the Senate confront either Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton? They've got to come up with the plan. It's not a presidential executive order. The Congress has to solve this. Thank God it's not Democrats doing it.
Well, I know John McCain has campaigned on Obamacare from the very beginning because I was with him earlier this year, and it's something about which we've talked. And we've worked on legislation to stop some of these worst and immediate harms of Obamacare from going forward. But it's not enough for us to say that Obamacare is flawed. We certainly shouldn't defend the pre-Obamacare status quo. We need to create a new health care system that works for families and gives them the flexibility they need to choose, whether that's through tax credits or deductions, allowing people to buy plans that don't have all the Obamacare mandates in them, allowing them to buy health care plans from other states. There's a lot of reforms that we can propose as Republicans that are going to stop Obamacare's harms from going forward, but also not return to the flawed pre-Obamacare status quo.
Senator Tom Cotton, always a pleasure to talk to you. Better luck next week, and I feel bad. By the way, are you an Indians or a Cubs person, Senator?
I'm rooting for both teams to have a historic World Series, Hugh.
That is so. Tom Hanks and I are on the side of history. You're kind of straddling there, Senator. We'll sum up that next week. Don't go anywhere, America. Hour number 3, straight ahead.